Hi there, Loy Machedo. Speaking to you from loymachedo.com. Who's Loy Machedo? Think personal branding. Okay. Found this rather funny article. Air India bans blonde hair, balding men, and wigs on all flights. New guidelines introduced with dress code for all Air India flights. I'll give my thoughts. What do I think about this? Okay, links are put down below. Now, before I even tell you about what do I think about Air India's new rules, let me tell you, I've made a video. I made a video quite some time ago. I traveled via Air India only once, and that was the last time in my life I traveled with Air India. And I'll tell you why. Okay, I'll tell you why. Number one, it was the stinkiest, smelliest, and most disgusting experience I ever had. The aircraft was smelling like someone's, I don't know, armpits or ball sack, man. It was so stuffy, so musky, so dirty. Okay, number one, it was you just came to a place that rotting wood. Okay, that is number the carpet, wet carpet smell. Okay, second one is the air hostess. If you if you think Emirates Airlines, you think attractive. If you see some other aircrafts like Virgin, whatever, at least they are attractive, presentable. For the first time in my life, first time, I saw a air hostess who was not just fat. She was really big. She was a plum. And she was an old lady. She was not, okay, fine. Even if she's old, I didn't mind, but she was fat. On top of that, she had a sweat patch, okay? And she had tires that you could see. I really, she was polite and namaste, sir. She was like, but I was like, oh, what the, you can see the sweat patch, man. You can see I was like, what is this? I was polite. I didn't say anything. Yes, quite went in. The smell and this and that. Okay. The passengers, anyway, were, hey, yeah, as if it's a local bus. There were guys sitting on top of the side of the seats, jumping on seats. I felt as if I was in a refugee aircraft, where they're transporting refugees or criminals. Okay. I don't remember what I had in terms of the food or whatever, snacks or whatever, but it was a terrible experience. Okay. And the behavior of people, the toilet stinks. I just wanted to get off the plane. Even the person sitting next to me was eating something and smelling, and he was an old man, he with his old wife. I just kept quiet. I sat down there. I just opened my book, whatever. And I'll tell you, the minute I got out of the aircraft, I was just breathing air. I wanted my lungs to empty itself from all the toxic stuff that I took in. Okay. So this was my experience of the Air India uh, aircraft, and that was the last time in my life I ever said I'll travel there. Even if someone offered me for free, I would not travel with that. Okay, that doesn't mean I've had not had bad experience other aircrafts. Yes, there have been, like even in Qatar Airways, I've had passengers who stuff the law, haram, and all that because they see my tattoos, and sometimes rude cabin crew, and sometimes unprofessional. It's there. I'm not saying, but among the worst is an Indian carrier and Indian crowd. I'm sorry to say I'm an Indian passport holder, but the most badly behaved passengers. People say Chinese and Saudi. I'm not, and there are some aircrafts. You can see those horrible videos when they go to Saudi for Mecca, Medina, and all that. It seems the toilets are overflowing. Those are one rare of cases. I don't know. I don't know because I've not been there. So some people say Saudi and Chinese passengers are the worst, but in my experience, all the traveling I did, Indians were the worst. Okay, Pakistanis also. There are some videos you see they trying to kick the window open and all that stuff. Okay, thankfully, I've not had even these American passengers who shout and scream and throw things and punch each other. Mine is limited to the Indian experience. Okay. So the unhygienic conditions, the smell, the behavior, fine. Now, Air India, all of a sudden, because it has been purchased by Tata, says, okay, no more blonding your hair or having streaks, no more white hair, no more balding men, no more wigs, no more, pearls on females. I think this image that Air India had was, I don't know, 60s, 70s, or sorry, 70s, 80s. Maybe that is the same image that they kept. And it seems they should have a proper tie. It should come all the way to the belt buckle. They should do hairspray. They should not wear a wig. I, I think the major problem is in India. It's not just Air India. I think in India in general, because the population is so big, basic education for general hygiene is not made mandatory. I'll tell you, see, don't get upset or sensitive when I say this. This is a fact. Basic hygiene is not taught in Indian educational system. Like, for example, I've had plenty of Filipino girlfriends, okay, plenty. Right from a very young age, they're taught how to put makeup, how to present. In fact, among all the Filipino girls that I've dated, I mean, I've never found someone who is disgusting or smelly or whatever. They really know how to groom themselves, even if they are earning a salary of, let's say, $200, working for a like a cashier in Dubai. However, with our Indians, maybe because the population is so high, maybe because Indians are everywhere, 1 billion of a population, obviously 80-20 principle, if you follow, the 20% who are creme de la creme, you'll not bump into them. 80%, you'll always bump into them. So I don't know what it is, but Indians just don't know personal hygiene, whether it's using a deodorant, whether they they just know put powder and so you don't sweat. And most of them do not know how to put makeup. I used to see my own relatives put makeup. The way they put makeup is as if a clown puts makeup. They just don't know. Something here, something there. They're not trained. And that's unfortunate. But what is inexcusable is in today's day and age of the internet, they should not be an excuse. Like, don't don't take it the wrong way. I'm not saying that every poor country, all the girls are totally waxed and they are amazing. But with our Indians, I don't know, is it the curry or the food that they eat or the climate? That smell is unbearable. Me personally, I am so particular on hygiene. Maybe because I was a playboy, or maybe because I interacted with a different crowd. I'm very particular about hygiene. But for Air India, I feel has to really completely go through a complete overhaul from uh, the pilots to the cabin crew to the. I mean, they have taken on a Herculean task where even the administration, HR, everyone has to change. They have to bring in new blood. They have to bring in a new generation. Otherwise, Air India is again going to go back to the dumps. And I'll tell you this much: I've been with other aircrafts in India, what Indiegogo and this and that. They employ mostly youngsters and all that. And they're also, some of them are egoistic pricks. They have a sense of entitlement. I guess it's because they're dealing with a very riffraff crowd, a very boisterous crowd. So they themselves are boisterous. I don't know what it is. But I maybe if I were to pay money for first class, maybe I would experience first class experience. Maybe because I just traveled economy and business class, it's not that great. Or maybe I've just had only bad experiences. I don't know. Anyway, as far as this article goes about Air India changing its rules, congrats. Something is better than nothing. But I would say they have a long way to go, a really long way to go. And just changing the physical appearance is one step, but they need to change their behavior. You need to change the culture, which I don't know how far it's possible. For me, I just see Air India that was once run by the government, today run by Tata. They'll have to completely rebrand themselves or create a new brand and just transfer Air India to that brand, slowly the best of the best, and eventually let this brand die off. Because Air India, with the way it is, existing people, to make them change, It's like what Elon Musk is trying to do with Twitter. You have to fire everyone, bring in totally everyone new, and eventually maybe change the brand or face bankruptcy. Anyway, good, bad, ugly. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. This is me signing off. You guys take care.